My name's Robbie Mayfield. I'm the training specialist with the Mississippi Rural Water Association.
My name is Bill Rutledge. I'm the mayor with the city of Pontotoc in Pontotoc, Mississippi.
You're on.
My name's Ronnie Steele from Louisiana.
I'm on. Bob Kirby with the Kansas Rural Water Association.
Your name, sir?
Hi, my name's Dale Whitley with the town of Preston in Preston, Maryland on the Eastern Shore.
Nick Inglisa.
All right, and we're on. And your name, sir?
Kurt McFadden.
Kurt, you're on.
Right. Well, I'm W.R. Brumley, which I usually go by Ralph, but W.R., it went for Hearst, it's W.R., so I thought, well, why not use W.R. for me?
All right.
My name is Brandon Slater.
I was actually the wastewater operator and the water operator and the public works director for our city for 23 years.
How many years have you been an operator?
About 15.
I was an operator for about 12 years.
Brandon, how long have you been an operator?
Roughly 3.5 years now.
How many years have you been an operator?
34, 35 years.
Let's see, since I got out of college, so about 11 years.
I've been the trainer for 9 years and have worked for Mississippi Rural Water going on 13 years.
Do you remember why you became an operator?
Well, I started out reading water and gas meters for the town that I live in, and then I moved into the wastewater superintendent position.
Originally, I became an operator. It was a good, steady job. I'd done some construction type work in the past. It is a good way to earn a living. You knew that they were going to
It's a necessity. People needed water and nobody else was around, so I figured I'd better learn the business.
Good move.
I got out of school, I got out of Penn State, and the town I lived in was looking for an operator. And I got hired right in there. Good benefits, steady work. It was environmental. My background, my education's in geology, so I thought it would tie right in with the lab work and everything, and here I am.
Excellent. As an operator, were you 24/7 or were you on call?
absolutely the 24/7. Holidays, you got phone and ring. There for a number of years when I worked for the city. I don't think there's a holiday that went by that we didn't have something happen, a main break, or that was our biggest problem. The no lines, they'd break. They did it on Christmas morning or Thanksgiving Day or inconvenient times, I guess you'd say. You were always going to have employment that way, so that's probably my primary reason. I always kind of enjoyed that sort of thing too. So, and the chemistry of it, and things like that. So.
Mainly because it was either that or have to outsource the work, and I'm not much in outsourcing the work. I like to handle it myself, and that way what you call on-hands operator.
I just like being in utility, working with people. Water and wastewater, valuable to everybody, and just like a board member or an operator, it's a service, and they provide safe and water, and also.
Well, I was an equipment operator at first, and just to get promoted, you have to be licensed. You just can't stay stagnant at one thing all your life. You got to keep moving.
Well, actually, I entered it. My dad was in the water and the wastewater business for 29 years before I got into it in 1971. The biggest thing that I felt like is if it's important for me to drink it and my children to drink it and my grandchildren to drink it, then I want to be kind of on the top level to make sure what they're putting in their mouth is safe and in a good quality.
My father's in the same type of business, and he kind of got me in it. And there's a future.
What do you think the average operator gets paid?
In the state of Mississippi, the average operator makes around
What would you say is the average rate of pay in your area for an operator?
Mid-20s, 20,000, 25,000.
Wow, and in Delaware, that's not good to live off of, is it? It's high cost of living up there. What would you say is the average rate of pay in your area for an operator?
I would say it averages about $25,000 a year.
That's pretty tough for Maryland.
Yep.
How many operators work with you, or are you the only one?
I have my daughter and another gentleman works with me.
Currently.
In Kansas, your average salary is probably going to run you, depending entry-level operator, you're going to start about $8 or $9, maybe $10 an hour. Class 4 operator, you're going to be in the $20 an hour range, somewhere right around there.
What's the average pay in your area for an operator?
$15 to $20 an hour.
How much about for somebody starting out?
If you're licensed, probably 10 to 12.
We try to do surveys to get that information, but we did get a lot of feedback on that. But most of your operators are, I would say, underpaid. And of course, this again goes by how complex the system is and the type of treatment, things like that. But I know some even make $7, $8 an hour, and some of them pay pretty good. But overall, I'd say most of them are underpaid.
Normally in Mississippi, you're looking at a range from $25,000 to $40,000 a year.
Right now, water operators, for the responsibilities that they have, are paid significantly less than they should be.
And the reason for that is a lot of your systems don't have the revenue to pay them. And one reason there's not no revenue is because of the rate structure. The rate structure is not keeping up with cost and inflation, everything. So, and some board members are reluctant to adjust their rate accordingly.
When I actually worked for a water system, it was a board council decision.
The town council.
Who makes financial decisions at your water system?
Mainly my wife. She's the only one that tells me how much money I got left.
And the boards of directors or municipal boards of aldermen, city councilmen, mayors make the decisions, usually with the water operator's recommendations.
Well, actually, the final financial decision is going to be made by myself and the Board of Aldermen. The budget-wise is turned in by the department head on the water and the wastewater side. Of course, my background is 30-plus years in the utilities, and so the decision is kind of a jointly made between all of us.
What's the financial decisions at your system?
I'm in a small town, and it's between myself, the town manager, and the commissioners that operate the town, the elected officials.
To a certain dollar amount, we could make our own financial decisions. Purchasing wise, we had a limit though, and then anything over like $1,000, we went before the council to get approved.
They don't have the tools that they should have, to do their jobs, like they want to. Some of them are kind of, their hands are tied. They don't have the funds, revenue to do the job properly, like they like to.
General term.
Well, there's no such a thing as a typical day. A day may start off with a pretty sunny day, everything going good. People are going out and checking, personnel are going out and checking wells. We're going out and checking lift stations. Then, as with all systems, something's going to break, something's going to stop up. Something's going to happen somewhere. It may be electrical, it may be a blockage, it may be old pipes that's collapsed. And this is a routine day, just I'm gonna say every day, because that's what we're there for. You're in there for service, but again, you're in there for repair, and the repairs are becoming a lot more stringent than the service.
Did you say an operator is 24/7?
Yes.
Yes. Can you describe a typical day in the life of an operator?
Well, mine might be kind of unique because I'm an owner as well. The first thing in the morning, you got to check reading of all the wells. Post them, you got to check for a chlorine residual to make sure that the chlorine is there. In our case, we have an oxidation filtration plant to check the ion removal of the water. Then we go to the wastewater. We have to check how many gallons are discharged out on the discharge permit. We got to check for pH, dissolved oxygen, and chlorine residual. That we do on a daily basis. And we record those and post this to the federal EPA forms and the MDE, Maryland Department of the Environment forms. A typical day. And then sometime once a week we have the backwash filters. That's on a weekly schedule. And then once a month we have the monthly operating reports that we have to complete and send them out to take care of the NPDES permitting and the state permitting regulations.
And on top of that, you have emergencies, line
Oh, yes.
breaks, new connections. Did you list meter reading and all that too?
Well, we don't have meters. We're in the stage now of putting meters on. But so far, our residents have been very good because our water consumption is well within the limits they would need. If they get out of hand, then we're going to be putting meters on.
Would you say an operator's 24/7 or?
Oh yes, I'm on call 24/7.
The industry seems to lag a tad bit behind in some of the, there's a lot of lifting, there's a lot of by nature, or just a nasty environment. The biggest risk to an operator is slip fall hazards, insurance-wise. So a lot of places, they have to go do their work in their tanks and manholes and stuff, confined space, and those aren't enforced. You know, I mean, guys pull manholes and get out of them by themselves every day. You can't do that in the private sector, but they're government employees, so they're not governed by OSHA. You know, they are watching their own, and there's gas risks, there's explosive risks. It's a dirty and risk of foreign disease. I saw a guy come out of a manhole, he had syringes stuck in his boots because somebody had been flushing syringes down their toilet. So I mean, there's all kinds of risks that need to be addressed. This is this is a profession just like any other, and money needs to be made available to get the tools in people's hands to do this stuff.
Syringes.
Yeah.
Working for the public can be kind of a challenge from day to day, but they just have to have a heart for it. I mean, anything you do, you got to have a heart for it, and you got to be, like I say, ready to go to work, whenever. And it, like I say, it may be weekends, holidays, or whatever, and working with different agencies and different people.
Do you contract out your operator expertise to other water systems?
I have in the past for some very small systems there in southeast Kansas. They just simply couldn't afford a full-time operator or anything like that. So, yep, it has happened.
What's the average rate?
Oh, I've done it for a favor to folks before. If it's a little old town down there, they didn't have nothing to speak of anyway, so I couldn't charge them anything for it.
In my case, I am because I'm in, but I don't work 24 hours a day.
Right.
I have somebody else coming on weekends and do the testing. But if anything happens, they call me day or night throughout the week.
An operator, water and wastewater, like I say, you're on call 24/7, 365 days a week. As an operator, I work weekends, holidays, even on vacation, you get phone calls.
On call or
The plant that I worked in was there was 5 operators. We were around 3 million gallon a day, seniority based for call outs. So I worked pretty much a 40-hour work week with rotating weekends. So you'd have to work like a 10 on and then have a weekend off. About every 4th weekend you worked. But if there was storm events, snow events, whatever, you get called out.
If they were just coming into the job, I would tell them to learn and train as much as they possibly could. The training's critical. If they have an opportunity for training, take that opportunity. Don't let it pass them by. If the system they're working for is going to send them somewhere, however they can come across it, take the training and take advantage of every opportunity that's given to them. And they can go about anywhere they want to in this job. So.
All right. Do you have a computer?
I do, but I'm not a computer. I'm the dinosaur. I do everything manually.
Do you have an internet connection? I take it you don't. Then?
My daughter does. She's breaking into the business.
All right. All right.
Did you ever have to mow the grass or any other odd jobs like that? As an operator?
Yes, ma'am. Even as a supervisor, I think you lead by example, and I got out and I just worked with my hands, and I cut grass from paperwork all the way down to if I had to use a shovel, I'd use a shovel.
Can you describe the typical day or week in the life of an operator?
It's pretty routine. Show up in the morning, and the first thing we do is we take all of our samples, get all of our testing done, because that's the most important thing. And once we get that done and make any adjustments that have to be made, then we go back to town hall and find out if we've had any problems come up, which a lot of times we have. So we take care of whatever things have come up overnight. And when we take care of that, then we do our standard maintenance throughout the town, be it cutting grass or fixing windows or anything.
Typical day in the life of an operator. It can be a real nice, smooth, easy day, or you can have so many things go wrong you don't know whether you're coming or going. So,
What would make your life as an operator easier?
Have somebody that's responsible and receptive to do it for me.
Better training.